Hello coders, I hope you are coding well. In the previous video, we added the feature to restrict multiple daily leaves requests, and in today's video, we will create an API call to get all applied leaves of an employee. So let's get started. So in our Spring Boot application, to get the leaves by employee, first of all, we need to create a method in the repository. And to do this, we will open leave request repository, and in this repository we will create a new method, and this method will return a list, and we will import it from java.util, and this list will be of leave request, and we will import this from entities package, and then we need to write the jpl query, and we need to get all the leaves by employee id. And to do this, we will write find all keywords, and then we will write by, and after this we need to mention the property name, and we will give this as employee id, and in this method we will pass long employee id. And with this our method is completed in the repository. And now let's open attendance service, and in this attendance service we will write a new method, and this method will return a list, and this list will be of type leave request dto, and we will name this method as get all employee leaves, and in this method we will accept employee id, and we will name this as id. And in the body of this method we need to use leave request repository, and we need to call the method, and after this we need to convert the list of leave request into the list of leave request dtu and return from this method. And to do this, we will write return statement, and then we will use leave request repository, and then we will call a method find all by employee id, and in this method we will pass the id, and after this we will apply stream, and then we will call map method, and in this map method we will call getDTO method, which is in leave request entity, and at the end we will collect it to the list. And with this our get all employee leaves method is completed in the service. And now we need to create an endpoint, and to do this we will open attendance controller, and in this controller after the apply leave method we will start writing a new method, and this method will return response entity, and we will name this method as get all employee leaves, and in this method we need to accept the id of the employee, and to do this we will use at the rate path variable annotation, and the data type of this id will be long, and we will name this as id. And in the body of this method we will write a try block, and in this try block we will write a return statement, and after this we will use response entity, and then we will call OK method to set the 200 OK status, and in this we will use attendance service, and we will call a method get all employee leaves, and in this method we will pass the id, and after this we will write catch block as well, and in this block we will catch the exception, and we will name this as e, and in this block we need to throw an error, and to do this we will write a return statement, and then we will use response entity, and after this to set the bad request status we will call bad request method, and then we need to pass the message as well, so we will call dot body method, and in this we will pass e dot get message, and after this we will annotate this method with at the rate get mapping annotation, and in this we need to pass the url of the api, and we will give this as slash leave slash employee slash id. And with this our get all employee leaves api is completed. And now let's run our Spring Boot application. And as you can see, our application is up on port 8080 without any errors. And now let's go to the Postman, and let's test our get all employee leaves api. And in the Postman, for the request type we will select get, and after this we will enter the basic url, which is http localhost colon 8080, and after this we need to give the controller url, which is slash api slash attendance, and after this we need to give the method url, which is slash leave slash employee, and at the end we need to pass the employee ID, and we will give this as 4. And then to call the API, we will click on this send button, and as you can see, after the API call we got 200 OK response. And after this, in the response body we got 2 applied leaves, and in this response we can see the ID and date of the applied leave. And after this we have details of project, employee and manager. And that's it for today's video. In the next video, we will call this API from our employee module in our Angular application, and then we will write the code to show all the applied leaves of employee on the employee dashboard.